Center State. And please check us out on the Northwest Sessions.
Disregard me. I'm the spaces in between all the words you speak. Blurred like a harlot, removed from everything just to keep it clean. Love because it's unbearable. Though the fire burns and your eyes stay turned away from me. Oh, the agony. 1, 2, 3. You captivate me. I'm a prisoner without a jailer or a jailer's key. Blue as the deepest sea. You sailed all my wishes away from me. Darling, you made me into true love because it's unbearable. Though the fire burns and your eyes stay turned away from me. Oh, the agony. What to do with me? I've pinned all my love on this white sheet. Sing, I got to sing. Maybe you're here, but I'm trying to stay. Away from me, oh, the agony.
So just kind of to break the ice, kind of tell us about where you guys have been this past few years. I mean, I myself am not familiar with how long this band has been around. So kind of just tell us what you've been up to this recently.
Who wants to field that one?
We can go ring around the rosy if it works.
It kind of happened, what was it, June, was it 2012 or 2013?
It's
2012. Jeremy and I've been doing music for years, though.
Right. Jeremy knew Mackenzie because she's the only person he knows that plays violin. And so he always
That
asked her
was
to do
the only
things.
option.
And then I got engaged to Mackenzie, and so I tagged along. And then I picked up a bass, and I asked him how to play it. And he said it's just like a guitar without two strings. And so I started playing around while they were practicing. And then he heard me humming in the background. And he's like, no, wait, you guys can both harmonize? I didn't know there was a third harmony you could do. Okay, we got to stop and just break down everything. And from there, it was just, it's all history from there.
Yeah. A lot of songwriting and then a lot of organic development. It was just one of those things where it worked for everybody. So we just started playing shows and developed from there. In St. Joseph, June 2012-ish. So.
Ish.
That's crazy. So 2015, so 3 years, and you haven't been playing bass that long then.
No.
And you started on upright.
No, I started on electric.
Oh, really? Okay, so you made the transition.
I made the transition.
Wow.
To fretless, which was terrifying.
It seems a little terrifying. I mean, I'm a bass player myself, and I haven't made the transition yet because I'm a wuss. So don't mind me. But I mean, for somebody who's not only started playing bass and then made the transition as well, you sound solid. I mean,
thanks.
Definitely fills the band well. That's awesome. So 3 years, haven't been around very long. So what have you guys been up to, say, like in the past year? What's been some big things you guys been up to? I know that you guys were up here earlier this season, playing in Maryville for just a regular concert, or just.
It was during the Northwest Family Days.
Yeah.
And they there was a coalition where a church in town and one of the campus ministry kind of
one of the Methodist
groups.
church in town.
They are doing a fundraiser for
Water.
wells or water
Clean water.
filtration
Something to
systems
do with
to
water.
go down to
Awful.
Haiti, I believe it was, or Dominican Republic or Haiti, which is the same island. Anyway, so that's what we did that for, and it was just a blast and a lot of fun. About a year, this year, we opened for Matthew West,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
artist, national artist down at the Civic Arena in St. Joseph. And then just about a month ago, we made a trip up to Kalamazoo, Michigan,
Yeah.
and we did a studio live multi-track, tons of cameras, kind of like what you guys are doing today, up there, called the KBR Sessions, and is with a studio or a collective, that's what they call themselves, Overneath Creative Collective up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So that's been going on. Before that, just getting our album out was one of our big accomplishments. It was a chore. It was about a year to a year and a half worth of work.
We were more than ready to start playing shows as soon as
Yes.
the album was pushed
my
out.
gosh.
Funny how that works out, right? Because it's like you'll have that trend of like, oh my gosh, like we're ready to play shows. You just start it out. Oh, maybe we're ready to record an album. Then it takes like a year or 2 years, sometimes 3 years for some slow bands to
Yeah,
put one
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You're like, God, I'm just ready to play shows
It was a
again.
really
So-
long year.
Yeah.
That's I mean, brief history, and we're back in the cycle. We're writing and doing things that we need to be doing right now, and we'll be going back into the studio before too long.
kind of talk to us about what it means to run a sort of business with the art. So you like trying to run the business within the band kind of thing. Like talk to us about what kind of structure that plays and what kind of effect that has on how your band does kind of thing.
Well, the hard part is it's so counterintuitive to be this artistic person and then think about a profit in regards to it, because really you don't do the music because of the money that you get. You do it because it's like you're called to do it. There's something in you that says, I don't care what happens. I'm going to play this music. I'm going to write this song. I'm going to perform this way. And the monetary side of it, or the business side of it, the reason that even exists is because you have to justify it to who you're responsible to. If I was not responsible to anybody, if I was just a single guy, and I didn't have a care in the world other than, make sure I eat some food, make sure I have a bed to sleep in, it wouldn't matter how much I make or anything like that whenever we play shows. But because I'm responsible to a family and my wife and my kids, and I'm responsible to these guys and gals, a gal. There's not more than one.
Sean's a gal.
Sean.
Because I'm responsible to them, I therefore have to be responsible myself and think about money and justify to them why we're playing a show or why we're doing this or why they're taking time out of their lives to do something like this. So that's where the business side, that's the foundation of it. And then you just get good at it. Okay, write down what you're supposed to do, actually ask to get paid when you play a show. Having good promotional material is a big deal, and that's how I got into graphic arts. I mean, I think the first posters I ever made was made with a Sharpie on like a piece of copy paper, and it was hilarious. I'm glad I threw it away. Let's just put it that way. And
should have documented it. It's one for the
Yeah.
scrapbooks,
Yeah.
man.
Framed it.
But so you get better at that because the better product you have, the better money you can make, and the more responsible I can be towards everybody else. And that's kind of how it flows. And then you start to enjoy the art of the promotion. Like, I love graphic design. I love being able to create artwork that people can appreciate, and it kind of goes hand in hand, like with the old LP covers and stuff like that with records. That was such a big deal back in the 60s and 70s, where when you bought a record, not that I was alive back then, but from what I hear from interviews back then.
I think you were.
Yeah.
I know Sean was.
You old girl, you.
You would buy that record and you would put it on, and then you'd just sit down, and that was your media. That's what you read. So, but so that's kind of how I approach the artwork side of it. The graphic design, artwork, photography. I want to just make sure that it's beautiful. And when people look at it, it's more than, okay, well, that's a good band photo. I want people to look at it and go, wow, that's fun. What came out in that? When we put stuff on Facebook, I don't want it to be just cheeseball stuff. I want it to have a purpose. So that's, I don't know if that answers every question that you were thinking, but that's kind of the direction I normally go.
Well, and I think marketing is a big important tool, especially when it comes to shows and stuff like that, because there's always that assumption that bands have that you're always like the venue's always going to market for you. Or any show you do, whatever, it's like, oh, venue's got us, whatever, and then they get there and nobody shows up.
No, it's a partnership. It really is. And that I don't like it when people say that venues don't have that responsibility, because they do. If they want people to come to their venue, they need to promote it just as much as the band needs to promote it. But it is the band's job, and it's the band's job to make sure to act professional. It's the band's job to sing on key. It's the band's job to play the right notes, so that there is something enjoyable and it's not just noise, so that people are enjoying it versus being annoyed.
Yeah.
So, and it is our job that we tell everybody and their mom, hey, there's a show coming up, and we would really like you to come. And then there's also being smart. Like, you don't play 6 shows in one city within the same month. It just doesn't make sense because you're beating everybody that would listen to you. You're beating them up.
Right.
So once a month or once every other month, play in this city, in that city, and and just
Spread them out.
yeah, spread it out. Create a circuit that you can work within, so that you have plenty of shows to play and you're not wearing the audience out.
There's a dry spell and is cast over me. I crave only you, but you nowhere to be seen. I'm lost in the wilderness. Yeah, I'm lost in the wilderness. Under the lonely star, I lay my weary head. The coyotes, they howl from afar, a sweet lament. I'm lost in the wilderness, and I can't find my baby anywhere. She's been gone since the night before last, and I'm lost in the wilderness. Yeah, I'm lost, but I'm gonna bring her back.
All right, what's up, everyone? You just heard Center State on Northwest Sessions on KZLX and KNWT. Tune in next week for more live music and interviews.